Welcome to the Extraordinary Culture Podcast. Podcast for the culture that is music, movies, sports, food, and beer. The Extraordinary Culture.
All right, we're recording episode. I have no idea. I don't keep track of the episodes anymore. What episode is this?
36, man.
36. 3 years?
Happy 3 years, yeah.
Oh, wow. We're getting old. We're potty trained now.
We're as old as Grogu.
Mighty Grogu.
Yeah, I know. 36 episodes, man. We've made it this far without any penis jokes.
There had to be one in there.
That's
there was a few, but not a lot.
We don't rely on them. That's what the thing. We don't rely on them. But
unlike
they're
other podcasts.
Yeah, like anything by Kevin Smith. That's basically how it
just
works.
Dick.
How many dicks is that?
A lot.
37? 37?
That's next month. Don't ruin
That's
it.
next month.
Oh.
We're still in November. November spawn a monster.
Admittedly, I have no idea what we're talking about. I'm just going to go with it.
Well, why don't you read it? You've been off for 3 days.
No, I've been doing shit around the house.
We've been doing it for 3 years.
I don't read. And we do it every time. I don't read it. I normally do it when we're sitting right there. It's the first time I actually look at it. However, I'm trying to watch the Tyson fight as well. As we record this, the Tyson fight is going on. I got it on my phone while we're recording this on the computer. And both these guys look winded. I'll tell you that right now.
As we said earlier, those are old ass men.
Yeah.
What round are they in right now?
I think third or fourth. How many rounds is it supposed to go down? Did you tell me? 8 rounds?
8 rounds.
Yeah, I think it's third or fourth round. It's at least third. It might be fourth already. When we were getting set up, I missed a little bit. So I take it. What are we doing? What are we talking about?
All right, man. So, I'm just going to put this out there. It has been 25 days since the election. I'm still waiting for a taco truck on every corner.
Me too.
And I want that to be an executive order. There needs to be a taco truck corner.
But can we make carne asada burritos $5 again? That's the important part. You can have a taco truck on every corner, but the carne asada burritos have to be $5 again. When we do that, I'll be happy. Even if it's every other corner, I'll be happy with a $5 carne asada burrito. That's really what I want.
I could go for that.
I could, but like inflation, so it's not gonna happen.
Nah, man, we're in the middle of a pandemic, man. Make them $7. I can live with that. I'll take one from Lucha Libre, man. Give me a Surf and Cali, both the shrimp and the carne asada, and I'll be down.
How much of those run? Like $18?
No, they're only about 10.
Yeah, it was about $10. It's cheap.
They're reasonable. They're decent sized.
You can eat a whole meal at Lucha Libre for about $12-13, and that includes a drink, and be full because it's a good sized burrito. You got the chips or whatever if you wanted a taco or something on the side plus a drink. About $12-13, and you'll be full.
Yeah,
I don't mind that. But anytime I take everybody down there, we're amazed because when we go down there, it's usually meals are paid for because we're at a conference. So we're reimbursed for them, and they give us like a budget of about $40 for dinner. Well, we only spend like $12 because it's like got a big ass burrito, and it fills you up. What are you gonna do?
So you buy 2, and one for now, one for later.
Yeah, but most times you got to worry about whether the hotel's got a microwave, and it's hit or miss with your hotel. Sometimes you got a microwave, sometimes you don't. Sometimes the hotel does have them, but not certain rooms. It's all weird. Like you can't ever count on a hotel. You ever notice that? You can't ever really count on a hotel room having a microwave. Like sometimes it's hit or miss.
Nah.
A fridge usually, but a microwave you can't guarantee.
No, you can't. That's a luxury.
Yeah.
The fridge is usually like, we got a fridge.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I don't want anymore though. I don't want any more turkey. 3 days in, and I'm ready to be done with turkey.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not even turkey sandwiches?
I had one today, and I actually had a good turkey sandwich. I mean, I set it up, and I had a hot turkey sandwich. It was just turkey. I put some stuffing in there. I topped it with some cranberry sauce, so it was a little bit different. And it was good, but 3 days in with turkey, and I'm ready for something different.
See, like I said earlier, I told you guys earlier, like I prefer ham over the turkey. So you have a good ham. I'd rather have that than the turkey. Turkey is good for Thanksgiving and a couple times a year, but like if I see it on a menu, I'm not going after it.
Just a sandwich, maybe, just like Subway or something like that. But even then, it's mixed with ham or whatever, you know. I like the ham because I'll usually make breakfast with the ham.
Yeah, I get a ham steak.
Good.
Nice ham and eggs. You're set for the day.
Oh, you get some ham and eggs, you ham and egger.
Yeah, man. November feels like it's been 500 years long in its own, man. But a lot of stuff's happened. X, you've got some big life changes that have happened this month.
Yeah. So at the beginning of the month, I got married, and after 44 years of being alone, and never thinking I was gonna get married, after like age 40, I was like, I'm probably not gonna get married. I decided to take the big plunge. So far it's been great, but it's still the honeymoon phase. So we'll see how it is in 7 years. I'm just lucky I don't have to do stupid errands and like go get people lunch when like they could go get it themselves.
Hey, man, though, I saw your cake and I saw some of that stuff, and that was, it was very limited, of course, because of the pandemic. But that was pretty cool, man. You got that cake and you got the topper. You didn't even have to ask for that one.
No, so I had a Han and Leia topper on my cake that she picked out. I was gonna try to sneak that in myself, but she did it for me, so I was very happy with that.
That's it. So you know they're a keeper.
Yep. And then my silicone band. I have two bands. I have my dress band, and I have my silicone band for work because I don't want to get my nice band all messed up at work when I'm working with like industry shit and like metal shit and metal, get it caught and get my hand caught up and have to cut it off. So I have a silicone band, and it says "I know." She had a custom put it on there for Star Wars fans.
Any Star Wars fan knows I know. And that's not it, man. It's been an eventful month for you. And then we had that SpaceX launch recently, and that was cool to watch. Did anybody else watch that?
Yeah,
to the space station.
Yeah.
Bringing our sweet baby with us.
Grogu. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Little Grogu.
Yeah, the last.
Cool.
Are they called astronauts? What do they call them now? Is that what they call them? Astronauts, or do they call them something different?
Still
They're
astronauts.
still astronauts.
Yeah, the last one they came in had the Baby Yoda at the time, the child at the time.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. He's officially been to space now. Everybody's all jazzed about that.
Yeah, but
we have a special connection to that.
Yeah, I actually went to high school with the pilot Victor Glover.
Oh, he did?
Oh, really? Yeah, he was from out here.
Yeah, so he was born in Pomona. I know he spent some time in some other cities around the area. And his freshman year, he transferred to Ontario High School, where I went to school. And we graduated. We even played football together. I had a few classes. Cool. He was a smart guy, but I don't remember him being like super like standout smart. Like there's other people who we knew had were a lot smarter, but he's the first astronaut we've had from City of Ontario and Ontario High School. So it was just kind of cool. Like, hey, I know that guy. I've reached out to him on Twitter, but I guess he's too busy to say anything back. And if he doesn't remember me, it's not that big of a deal. I'll get over it.
Exactly.
Hey, that's still pretty cool, though. Not many people can say they know an astronaut.
Yeah, that is actually pretty cool. That he's local, and that's cool. That's super cool. So he couldn't do NASA, but can do SpaceX. Got it. All right, I just found that.
Well, it's NASA through space.
I know.
He's still a Navy pilot, so he could have been NASA if they didn't cancel the program.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I was getting at. The fact that it changed programs. That's all. Round 8, and it doesn't look like we're getting anything different. We got no knockout, so
that's okay. I'm glad both of them were able to walk away.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, man, that is actually really good. Let's see what. Well, I guess it don't really matter. They're talking right now, but we'll see what happens. I'll check the comments in a second.
No, that's cool, man. It's about time for a break anyway, I think. So let's get ready to take a break, and let's feature some Left Hand Black since we're doing the review from them. So
that was some good stuff. I listened to that when I listened to them when I was up in Colorado.
Yeah, we'll do the review in a minute here, but let's play. I like "Long Live the New Flesh," so let's do Left Hand Black's "Long Live the New Flesh."
You got it. Here it is.
When you
Hey, so
I'm-
did
I'm-
anybody watch Star Wars Halloween special?
The
Halloween
holiday
special?
Yeah.
The holiday one, the Lego one,
No, the Halloween one.
the Halloween one.
There was a
Yeah.
Halloween one.
This Charlie Brown Halloween one, you know.
I thought you said Star Wars.
He did say Star Wars.
said
That's why
Star
I'm
Wars,
questioning stuff.
Oh, let's go
I was
back.
like,
Fuck
"There's
that.
a Star. How do we not know the Star Wars Halloween one?"
I know I'm high. And I had a little bit to drink, but
All right,
I
so-
heard Star
so-
Wars.
So do you know one of my favorite traditions in my classroom is?
What's that?
Every year, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, I give the kids popcorn
purge.
and cinnamon toast crunch, jelly beans, pretzels, and we watch a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving together.
Wait a minute, hold up. Okay, now I like that. I like that. But does that mean we got Star Wars wrong and the holiday wrong? Because he said Star Wars Halloween.
You
So-
Man, you
I
ruined my
did.
segue.
I'm sorry, man, but it just dawned on me. Well, because as soon as I'm ready to talk about Halloween. I was like, yeah, I watched the Halloween special, and then the next thing I know, Rick's talking about popcorn and pretzel sticks and toast and shit. And I was like, wait a minute, that's the Thanksgiving
I've been up
one.
since 4:30 a.m.
Okay, that's fine. I just was like, wait a
I'm
minute,
just
I'm
like,
off.
man.
I'm just thrown off, man. All right.
Just a little clarification is all I'm looking for, really.
Yeah.
All right, so cut that shit out.
That's just how it is, man. We're fine. Go back into it. No, you were talking about So yeah, tradition you have is to do that. Is to do what did you say? The pretzel sticks and the popcorn.
I said, yeah, man, we have the same snack that Charlie Brown and the kids have, but instead of toast, I do cinnamon toast crunch. We do pretzels, we do popcorn, we do jelly beans, and we bust that out. We watch Charlie Brown Thanksgiving together, and I really thought that was not going to be something we were going to do. We ended up doing the video without the snacks this year, but even the video for most people, man, even watching a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, a lot of people didn't think it was going to happen this year, and it's back.
So was it on PBS? It's on PBS, right?
It's on
Yeah,
what happened?
PBS.
So
Okay.
here's what happened. Apple TV, the one that you have to pay for, not just like the Apple TV that you like pay for once and you can watch all your like a streaming device. So the Apple TV service acquired the rights to the Charlie Brown holiday specials, including Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. And I think that's the three that they show. Yeah, that's the three they show throughout the year. Everybody got all butthurt because they're like, oh my God, I got to pay for another service to watch this. It's not on regular broadcast TV. It's been on broadcast TV since the incarnation of it. So that's over close to 50 years.
Right.
It originated on CBS. And then I think the last couple of years it was on ABC.
Yes.
So now everybody was upset. There was an uproar about it. And they decided that they're going to let PBS, Public Broadcasting System, air it once, air them on broadcast television.
Which is a big relief because, you know, it's even though you've seen them a million times, even though everybody has DVDs, Blu-rays, and you can watch it on the streaming services, there's something about watching that on TV, man. That just brings back the nostalgia. It brings you back to being a kid. And it brings us back to having those snacks while you watch it.
And so there's a big to do about that cartoon. Have you seen it? What the big to do
Nuh-uh.
is?
Oh, yeah.
we've been making this joke forever. We've been making this joke forever, but there's a cannibalism scene in that cartoon, and this year in the cancel culture, it's trying to like that's freaking cannibalism. It's when Woodstock eats the turkey.
Oh, God.
At the end of what it is, it's when Woodstock eats the turkey. Yeah. I've been seeing that a lot online, and we've been making that joke for years. But that's not right.
Yeah.
That's like Donald Duck eating a turkey. You know what I mean? It happens. It's in plenty of episodes.
Yeah.
It's like it's not really what it's about, and they're freaking cartoon characters. So come on now.
But here's the thing, though. Big birds eat little birds. It's not really cannibalism. It's the same, I guess.
Lucky shot.
No, same
It's reverse.
genus. I don't know. I don't know how it breaks down.
It's
It's
reverse
like a-
food chain.
Yeah, it's like if we ate a monkey. We're related genetically, but we're not a monkey.
Yeah,
Monkey brains.
Right. So, but that's what it has gone on with that. You see a lot of it. So people were all pissed off when it got taken off, like you said, of TV because it's been a tradition. It's been on TV since its inception. And then, to put it back on PBS, but then they put it back and it was like, well, it's got a cannibalism scene. So there's calls for it to be canceled because it's got it's a freaking cartoon, dude.
Well, it's
like
been,
you're talking about
been the more prevalent issue over the past few years, though, has been the idea that Franklin is segregated from the rest of the people at the table. Franklin is sitting alone on one side of the table while everyone else is on the other side.
Okay, but that's kind of dumb too, because you're talking about Charles Schulz, who introduced a black cartoon character. Was he the first one? I think he was the first one to introduce a black cartoon character in a white cartoon like that.
Right.
So it's already groundbreaking just on those grounds. That's like, you got this regular kid who doesn't get treated any different other than apparently the seating, and that's what they've never noticed. But for the most part, it's never brought up that he's a different color.
No, it isn't. Though he does give an interesting high five to Charlie Brown when he walks in the house.
Yeah, you do notice that. It's got a little soul to it. It's got a little soul to it. I did. You do notice that it has just a little tiny bit of soul to that high five when he goes in. Yeah. And they give him the shirt that's all Shueco, the one that Snoopy had a fight with. That's pretty cool too. But can we talk about the Halloween one too? Because I watched that one too.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I did. Was that on TV? I don't remember if that was on. That was on TV, but I didn't watch it on TV. I watched that Halloween night after coming back, because Halloween was different this year too. And that's one of the last things I did. I always have to watch those. I haven't watched the Thanksgiving one yet. I need to watch that, but I always try to watch the Halloween one on Halloween because I love me some Great Pumpkin. That's pretty good. So are we rolling into the next holiday special, or what do you got on that?
Christmas will also air on PBS.
Do you have a date?
So that's the next one coming up.
Is there a date for that one?
There is, but I don't know it off the top of my head. Our youngest brother, Robbie's the one. He's the major Peanuts fan, so he was the one who kind of got us caught on to what was going on with this. I can tell you in a second.
I tagged him in the post. When I saw that and I did it as a joke because we all own him on DVD or Blu-ray or something. Anyway, I did it as a joke, and then but it just became, for a lot of people, it just became not even the fact that you can buy it on DVD or the freaking price of the Blu-ray skyrocketed. That's hard to get. You can get the individual ones, but the holiday collection it's expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you can get it. Target has it for like $25, but like you won't get it until the middle of December through sometime at the beginning of January. Like it's really hard to get, and it got re-released. They don't release it all year. I think it's only released in the holiday season. So the ones that were already existing, they go for like $70, like for a 2-disc or 3-disc Blu-ray, like freaking $70. And so a lot of people's calls were like, well, this should be on TV because it's your tradition. And the other camp was like, you should have this on freaking Blu-ray. Like it doesn't. So let me speak on this for a second, because we all know I'm going to go off on a tangent and get all, as Rob calls it, feisty. I was
spicy.
Yeah, I was watching some holiday movies yesterday. I was decorating in the house, and so I was like, well, I'll put on a couple of Disney Plus holiday movies and just kind of have them play in the background as I'm putting the tree up and garland and shit in the house. And I was like, let me see what Netflix has as far as holiday movies. That shit sucks. There is nothing good on Netflix as far as holiday movies. Have you seen it?
No, what is it, like the Hallmark films?
No, it's not even that. Yeah, well, maybe. Yeah,
that style of movies. What I mean,
that
like
style of movies. Like no classics, like nothing. But man, I want to watch Jingle All the Way, or even like I think what's the freaking Bing Crosby one?
White Christmas.
White Christmas was there, but like they don't even have A Christmas Story or It's a Wonderful Life. Nothing.
It's a Wonderful Life is on Amazon Prime.
Okay, I gotta check Amazon Prime. I haven't done that yet. But Netflix selection sucked, and it was like Paw Patrol Saves Christmas, freaking Casper Saves Christmas. What is this bullshit? No one cares about this. It was bad, dude. Or it was original ones. We all know how I felt about Hubie Halloween, so like I didn't think I was gonna watch
Kiss Save Santa.
Yeah,
oh, dude,
like
Kiss Save Santa.
Man, so it was just not good. So there is something to say about still, for at least for holiday movies right now, is what I'm saying, having the Blu-ray or having it on disc, because it sucked. Like I can't even. When do I want to watch my Chipmunks, man? Which is the Saturday spin for today, which I made a TikTok for. It's already up there. If you haven't seen it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, man. No, I want to watch the good stuff. I want to watch Yogi Bear Christmas. That's not there.
That's on HBO Max.
Is it?
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, I buckled down and I finally got HBO Max because I wanted to watch the Witches remake. And I still, after a year and a half, hadn't seen the Joker, so I watched them both. And I'm like, yeah, I'll keep it for a few months. It's been I'm off next month anyway, so gives me some stuff to watch. But yeah, man, there was parts in there though I don't remember, and I blame that on my dad.
The Yogi Bear Christmas because he put on pause to get rid of the commercials for you.
Yeah. You can't blame him for that, man. He tried to cut commercials out for you as a kid.
He's awesome.
He did.
No. I get
He just chopped
he
it.
fell asleep. He fell asleep.
So instead of an hour and a half movie, it's like 45 minutes.
No, it's not that bad. He felt it's like missing it was missing maybe like 10 minutes of the thing.
A little bit more than that, dude. After watching it on HBO Max, I'm like, I don't remember this part. It was probably a good 20 minutes.
Okay, but it wasn't like the whole movie, dude. Like you got the gist of what was going on.
I'm teasing, but there was songs. I'm like, I don't remember this song.
Yeah, I do remember seeing it somewhere. Oh, I know what it was. A while back when this was a thing, I had a hard drive full of movies that were just kind of recorded on it, on stuff. It's from like torrents or something like that, and that was one of them. And I remember watching it there, and I was like, I don't remember this part. Oh, this must have been what I missed because Dad fell asleep.
But you know what else is going to be on HBO Max coming up? Wonder Woman 1984.
Wonder Woman. Is Linda Carter in it?
Another reason. Probably. She had a cameo in the last one, didn't she?
I believe she did.
I did. But yeah, man, that's coming out the same day as it's going to hit theaters. They're going to both be released on HBO Max on Christmas Day, and it's going to hit theaters on Christmas Day. But if I remember right, it will only be on HBO Max for like a month.
Yeah, that's what it said. It was going to be on HBO Max for a month and it would play on theaters a little bit longer. The theaters in California have been closed again. I don't think they've ever reopened since.
No, they haven't.
Yeah, like for a minute.
Yeah, because remember, you could go in and you could rent a whole theater to watch to watch a movie.
We looked into that, and that sucks.
That was only like $100 or something like that.
Yeah,
it was cheap.
You only get like a few people in. I mean, it's cool for certain things. For like, we wanted to use it as a play a Christmas movie for everybody and like bring their family.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, dude, it was like 20 or 30 people.
Yeah, you can only get
it's still limited capacity.
Yeah, so.
But like for 20, 30 people, for $100 for 20, 30 people, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
That's $5
that's a pretty good price to do that. Like I know somebody that did it, and they seem to have a good time with it, but it didn't last long because everything got shut down again.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not. We're gonna be going to the movies anytime soon. I think everybody's making their plans, like with Wonder Woman, to say, let's just release this on here. That's a big one because I think Warner expected to make a pretty decent amount of money.
They think it was going to gross $1 billion worldwide.
And I don't blame them.
Okay.
Yeah, the first one was a good movie.
It was a fantastic movie.
And plus all the merchandise
of the DC universe.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It definitely was the best movie of the DC universe. It was
highly anticipated.
Yeah. So that's a big call for them to do that.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool though. You gotta do what you gotta do.
The thing I feel bad about, man, is all those toys and all those things ended up getting released and they're all on clearance now because of Christmas and people haven't even seen the movie yet.
Bro, the toy market's not there. Like it just isn't. It's the toy market is not there for what it was. That's just you take what you can get. I kind of blame Star Wars for that. I think Star Wars really oversaturated the market. Look at all the stuff Xavier just got rid of. That seems to be when the tide flipped. That in the late 90s, that toy craze of the Hot Wheels and all that, everything just got oversaturated and nothing was worth money anymore. And that the movie tie-in, I don't know the movie tie-in stuff, the toys. I don't know if they make money. I really don't know if they make money at all. I don't know what the kids are into as far as that. I think it's just little kids. I don't think it's movie figures anymore. The quality of them doesn't even look like they did when we were doing it. Like when McFarlane Toys was making all those and stuff. Like it was really good. The Star Wars figures just they had a look about it. It was close enough. They got better, when the re-releases came out than the original figures, but the quality is just not there when you see toys in a store that are from movies.
Toys now is for collector markets. It's not for the kids anymore like it used to be. I remember I just when the Transformers came out, just checking out the Transformers. I'm like I said, I don't buy anymore. I haven't bought in years, but I just want to see what they look like, and the quality was cheap. I'm looking at this. I go like, where's the metal? Where's all this? I go, this is just cheap plastic.
Yeah, it's not meant to be taken out of the box.
Yeah, but and you see the ones, man. But the ones that have I've kept an eye on lately is the Ghostbusters has a line that's just been re-released, and they look fantastic. You've got Dana Barry, man. You're like, dang, this is a great looking figure. You got Venkman's looking fantastic. They're good looking figures. Would you take him out and play with them? No.
Are you gonna buy them?
But, I don't know, man. They're $20 a pop.
That too.
So it's only 6 figures that's in the line, I think. Though it's just the 4 Dana Barrett and one more. It's not Rick not Rick Moranis though. One more.
Slimer.
No.
Zool.
Mhm.
That's who Dana is. It's Dana Azul.
Oh really?
Oh, Gozer, I mean Gozer.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
It's Dana
Interesting.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna ignore Ghostbusters too. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm okay with that.
Figures.
I'm okay with that. We can ignore Ghostbusters too.
Hey, I'm still waiting for Ghostbusters 3.
You had Ghostbusters, so you're looking for Ghostbusters. What is the new one?
4.
Yeah.
I don't count
I
that
don't
third one.
Dude, I don't understand the hate. It was a funny movie.
Oh, you're talking
It's
about
not just that. It's just like how they said it really wasn't a Ghostbusters film, but it had like it was called the same thing. It's not in the same universe, quote unquote. I don't know. That's why I'm waiting.
Neither was the original Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that's true.
With the ape.
It was a funny movie. Thor was funny in that movie.
Yeah, he did. He did a great job in that, man. And you know who's going to be joining Thor in the next movie?
Who?
Chris Pratt.
Star-Lord.
Star-Lord will be in Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm curious, man, what Thor's going to look like in there, because he's been training for the Hulk Hogan biopic. Like mad.
He is beefy
He's
boy,
a big man.
He is, man. He's like a crazy spelt.
Crazy.
Oh, there's 26-inch pythons.
Even
Dude,
Hogan
arms
say,
are
man,
bigger
that
than
fool don't
his.
need to train anymore. He's got it down.
So anyway, with Chris Pratt joining Thor: Love and Thunder, it's gonna be a great. They have great chemistry, like that. The way they played off each other in like the Avengers films, and was just funny as oh shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're gonna see like the tension, just like them walking in the room, like, no, I'm Thor. And I was like, I'm Star-Lord. Well, I'm Thor.
Yeah, just that idea of the bickering and being able to. It's total buddy cop movie style.
I mean, I honestly wish they would like do a movie with just those two.
This might be the one. We'll see who else from the Guardians is in Love and Thunder. But
Well, that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. Why? And then, no, I mean, not for us putting it in and wanting to talk about it, but why is that news? Like, why did it have to be news that, like, in general, that Chris Pratt's gonna be in the next Thor movie? It kind of makes sense because at the end of the last, the Avengers movie, that's who he went with. So it just makes sense that he would at least make some kind of cameo, because that's the last sense you got of him. He'd be referred to in at least some part, or have to make a cameo or something. But I'm more with Rick, like, who else from the Guardians is going to show up? Because it just makes sense. Just Chris Pratt is a big name. So
should we call them the Guardians or the Asgardians?
Yeah.
Of the galaxy.
The Ass Guardians?
Yes. Yes.
What the hell are you doing, Dan?
Yeah, I'm just messing with this. I'm sorry.
That'll be fun though. You know what really excited me though is I know Dan, you've been watching it. Are you caught up with DuckTales?
No, I'm behind.
Did you make it to the Darkwing Duck 2-part?
No, not quite. Darkwing is a character in what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a character from what I've seen, but I haven't gone that far yet.
Yeah, and
It's one of
they
those things that got
play
stuck.
Darkwing really well in DuckTales. Is the way they play it is Darkwing Duck was a TV show in the DuckTales series, and Jim Cummings, who is the actual voice of Darkwing Duck in the original series, does the voice of the actor who played Darkwing Duck. But later on, they were going to do a movie reboot of the series, and they ended up hiring the president of the fan club, who happened to be named Drake Mallard, as the new star of the Darkwing Duck. So he's an actor and he's the head of the fan club. But Jim Starling instead of Jim Cummings was the actor who played Darkwing Duck originally. He got angry and he tried to take over the role. He ends up becoming Negaduck in the series, and Darkwing wants to actually become an actual hero. So revisited this in the next season, the newest season of DuckTales, and they go to St. Canard. And they do an hour, two-part episode, including Darkwing Duck. And it was a fantastic 2-part. They brought in Taurus Bulba, who was the original villain in the original Darkwing Duck miniseries that launched the series. They brought in Gosling Mallard, his quote-unquote daughter, and Launchpad ended up teaming up with him and stuff. So they've got it set up to the point where they can do a whole new Darkwing Duck series, and it sounds like it's on the drawing board right now. They really want to do this.
That's what I've heard.
Cool.
I don't remember when we were younger actually watching the Darkwing Duck series. I mean, when he was on DuckTales, and I did see the episode with the movie thing. I do remember that episode. I did watch that one, but I haven't gotten to the 2-part one yet. Shoot, I lost what I was gonna say. But I haven't seen that. I was wondering. Did that come on later in the run of DuckTales, or how long after?
It was after. It was after
DuckTales, like after the original DuckTales series. Does that sound right?
Darkwing Duck came out in about 92.
Yeah, sounds about right.
91, 92. So it was right around the end of DuckTales. It would have been like season 3, and DuckTales is only 4 seasons.
Okay, Xavier, did you watch that?
I watched DuckTales like the first season, I came home from school and it was on. I was in 7th, 8th grade when DuckTales was on, so I would have been in high school when Darkwing Duck was on. I just remember whatever he would say. I remember him saying that every once in a while. I am the whatever that goes in the night for Darkwing Duck. Yeah. I remember that. I would oh, this is cool. I watched it for a little while. I never got into Darkwing Duck.
I wonder if it's because of our age.
Yeah.
Because we would have been in high school by then. Yeah.
You know, we were about 6th grade when it came out, Dan and I. So
yeah, Xavier and I would have been about 15, 16 already. So it's a little bit on that end of like, I'm not really watching cartoons, anymore. So doing that, but the younger brothers might have been. So, and I know Rob is big into Darkwing Duck, but if it's 92, he's 7 or 8. So that's prime of that stuff, and I'm checked out by then because I wasn't even watching Disney movies at that end. I wasn't into Disney when Little Mermaid came out and when Lion King came out. Not that I wasn't into it; it's just I wasn't all about it. You're 15,
it wasn't on your radar. It's like, yeah, I'll watch it later.
You're 15, 16-year-old boy.
Yeah.
You're worried about playing sports. You're worried about going out with your friends. You're worried about girls. That's what you're worried about. It wasn't. I'm going to watch Darkwing Duck. I wasn't even reading comic books at the time. Yeah, it's just it's the puberty thing. hitting that
Right,
and just
yeah.
trying other stuff.
Now, I do remember being in high school watching more of Tiny Toons and watching more of Animaniacs. And now Animaniacs has mounted a comeback, and it's on Hulu. And I thought it would probably be on HBO Plus, knowing that it's a Warner Brothers property. And I haven't watched it yet. I just been too busy. I've been working 12-hour days, so
I haven't got it yet either. Here's a good fact though about the Darkwing Duck series is nobody's attached to it to write anything yet, but Seth Rogen is set to executive produce.
Oh shit, that'd be pretty cool.
So that'll be fun.
That'd be really cool. That'd be super cool.
Mm-hmm. But you know, from starting a new series to ending a series, Conan O'Brien has announced he is ending Conan on TBS in 2021.
What's
So
he doing? His podcast now?
He's actually going to be doing a weekly variety show on HBO Max.
Okay, it's time.
So,
It's time. He made some major cuts to that show. I don't know if I don't watch Conan regularly. We would go down, to San Diego and try to get into a taping and stuff, which I've done. But then, if you watch Conan, he's done that for years, gone to Comic-Con. Obviously, it didn't happen this year. But I was wondering what was going to happen because between last year, was it last year that I saw him? I think it was last year that we saw him. Maybe it was the year before. But between then and before everything got, of course, canceled and cut back, he'd made major changes to the show.
Yeah, he definitely restructured his show.
The time was cut. The live band was cut. Everything that makes a late night show from anybody that does a late night show, whether it was Letterman, Leno, George Lopez, Conan didn't have that anymore. So it was totally this restructured thing. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Really?
He went down to one guest. He did the monologue. He did a smaller monologue. He has one guest. The band's not there anymore. He cut to the half hour. And part of that was because he wanted to do more specials. He wanted to go off and do some of those Conan Without Borders. Like when he went to, he's done Mexico, he's done Greenland or Iceland. He's done a few different specials like that, where he has, he takes the camera with him and he does that. He does things there, and those are hilarious, man. They're really good. But,
and see that not getting rid of the band was a weird because he was the first one to have like his band leader was a famous musician that like made his like mark outside of television. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like because Paul Schaefer, he was like a TV musician, does stuff here and there. I know he played in the Blues Brothers band, but like where he wrote stuff, but he was like on Saturday Night Live, that kind of stuff. Doc Severinsen was just like another TV musician. Max Weinberg played with Bruce Springsteen in the East Street Band, and he's been in the band forever. Like he would have to stop to go on tour, or he would go on tour. So like they'd have like, it's like the Max Weinberg 7 featuring Jimmy Levito was a big thing about Conan O'Brien. So like, this is like somebody famous leading the band. I mean, what's his name? Kimmel? Not Kimmel. What's the other guy? Jimmy Fallon has the Roots on his show.
Yeah.
The Roots is like a it's like a well-known like a hip hop soul funk band. So
yeah. What's it? So I'm not surprised that it's done. I don't know how that could catch on. It's not your late night show in its traditional sense. And I know a lot of people have tried it. Some good, some bad. It was working for him.
And what you're seeing happening as Conan gets older is he wants more creative control. He doesn't want to be held back by the quote unquote late night talk show cookie cutter format. He wants to be able to do things like the Conan Without Borders. He wants to focus on digital content like the podcasts he does on top of things like that. So I understand the transition as a creator, as an artist. Yeah, you're going to get bored. Yeah, you're going to say, this is not what I want to do anymore. So now as he's transitioning to HBO Max, it looks like it's going to be more of a variety format. So I'm curious what that's going to look like in its entirety. And as you read the article, he gives just typical Conan. His quote in the article is, in 1993, Johnny Carson gave me the best advice in my career. As soon as possible, get to a streaming platform. So
Hey,
In
like they said in
1993.
Rancid,
That's
like
good.
Rancid says, the secret of a good life is knowing when you're through.
so that'll be heck, man, it's gonna be it'll be different because yeah, he's been on basic TV in some form forever. So it's but that's the way of TV now, is going into the digital formats and going into the streaming services. You know, it's pay to play. Even Howard Stern got that hint years ago and knew where the money was for him. So
I want to say
I'm
something really
curious
quick
what
that you
it's gonna
brought
look
up.
like. Yeah.
So Conan's been on TBS for the last, let's say 10 years. So I don't know the exact date. Let's say 10 years, roughly. You said he's been on some kind of basic TV for like, his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny that we're thinking of as TBS as basic TV. It's I mean, I know it's included like almost in every cable package for free,
Yeah.
but we're still thinking of it like, oh, that's basic television. Where like, 30 years ago, it's like, oh, what TBS? Why do you have TBS? Oh, so you can watch wrestling? What, wrestling's on TBS? I remember watching old NWA. I mean, just like on a Saturday morning, like and seeing the missing link. I'm like, who the heck is this ugly guy? Where's Hulk Hogan? Who are these guys on TBS?
And here's the funny thing, man. As you say that, you're saying 30 years ago. That's 1990.
Oh, geez, that would have been like
It's
a
hard
very
to
long
believe
time ago.
that.
I know, man. That's still Sting and Lex Luger and Ric Flair.
Well, the thing with TBS is that's really what drove TBS too.
Yeah.
That's what drove TBS. TBS was that, and maybe the Braves.
Ed Turner's Color Ice Classics.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, other than that, it was all either syndicated stuff or stuff that he pulled. There wasn't original programming, like on TBS at the time.
Well, to go back to the Braves, the reason that Elton John is a Braves fan, because they were always on TV and like he'd turn on the TV and like, who are these guys? These guys are horrible, because the Braves in the 80s were a horrible team, but they were on all the time. I mean, so like,
because you had a network that carried their games.
Yeah, and they were nationwide. And if you remember, up until they redid it, where there's 3 divisions for each league, so you have the National League West, Central, and Eastern.
East, yeah.
Yeah. The Atlanta Braves, when they only had 2, was the East and West, was the National League West.
Yeah,
they're like the furthest team east, because they're like, Atlanta's like basically almost on the ocean. So like they're the furthest team east, but they're considered a West Coast division. And Ted Turner fought that. He's like, no, I want my team in the West because more people could watch it, because there's more people on the West Coast watching baseball.
Huh.
And they were for most of the time, I remember, they were the strictest, the fiercest competition for LA. It was always the Braves and the Dodgers battling for first base.
What about where does Chicago fit in that mix? The Cubbies.
Chicago was always East.
They're the East. Yeah, they're East.
Because WGN was one of those other like basic cable stations, and I remember flipping through and seeing Harry Carey all the time, because you can't miss Harry Carey, those freaking Coke bottle ass glasses and the Cubbies. You know what I mean? So you knew you were gonna watch baseball if you switched the channels and you saw Harry Carey.
And I remember like even like not going to school like during like the spring months, and I go, what the hell's baseball on? I go, like, it's the Cubs. Like, oh yeah.
Yeah, because of the time difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a little bit
4 in the afternoon.
Yeah. So,
no. It would be like at 10 o'clock in the morning, because the Cubs have day games.
Yeah, you get that game.
That 1 a.m. 1 p.m. game.
So I was talking to somebody about this, and we're like talking about like, friends that like, how teams are divided by like social and economical classes. So like in Chicago, like, well, like who likes the White Sox and who likes the Cubs? The poor people like the White Sox, or the poorer people like the White Sox. The richer people like the Cubs, because who can afford to go to a game during the day at the week?
Ferris Bueller, that's who.
Yeah.
Big city now.
That's him. I had a
Deep city
segue.
was-
I had a segue for you earlier, and I forgot it because I figured we were going to take a break anyway because the segment's getting a little long.
Yeah.
Before we jump into Star Wars, because there's all kinds of Star Wars news. Because Star Wars.
But let's do another Left Hand Black song. Let's do Let's Scare Jessica to Death.
I saw her eyes roll back and her pretty face turn white. Didn't know she was so scared of things that go bumping into the night. There's so much of a wretched day. I wish Jessica was so dead. If I could turn back time, I'd go back to the night when I said I wanna hear her scream until she runs out of breath. Come on tonight, let's get Jessica to death. I wanna hear her scream until she runs out of breath. Come on tonight, let's get Jessica to death. I saw her eyes roll back and her pretty face turn white. Didn't know she was so scared of things that could bump into the night. There's so much I look like today. I wish Jessica was so dead. If I could turn back time, I'd go back to the night when I said I wanna hear her scream until she runs out of breath. Come on tonight, let's get Jessica to death. I wanna hear her scream until she runs out of breath. Come on tonight, let's get Jessica to death. Let's get Jessica to death. Yeah, let's get Jessica to death.
So we've listened to a couple of different songs today from Left Hand Black. Man, that is a fantastic album. Did you guys get a chance to listen to it?
Oh yeah, I loved it.
I listened to it when I was in Colorado. It was pretty good.
It's a great album, man. It's interesting, and always remember, we say this when we talk about last song playing when we do those podcasts, but we when we talk about bands, we're always doing this with good intentions and a good heart, and we're doing this in the most flattering way we can. Alicia and I were listening to the album, and those first few songs, as soon as you turn on the album, it gives me like a Black Sails type AFI vibe, but then with Peter Murphy singing.
Yeah, I can see that.
And again, that's nothing but flattery on my part, man. It's just fantastic stuff segueing in there. Like I said, and we played it, I think Long Live the New Flesh is probably one of my favorite songs. And it's just a great jam. But later on in the album, and it's not, again, not a knock at all. I love the album. It's a fantastic album. They move a little bit more towards a dark punk that's almost like Lookout style. I can almost see like Screeching Weasel.
Yeah, that was the vibe I got off of that album.
Yeah, guitar,
it was like
guitar
very
type vibe.
dark punk. Yeah. It was good. I mean, it's kind of music that we grew up on.
Oh,
so
definitely.
when I was listening to it, I didn't know what to expect once I started listening to it.
Mhm.
But once I did, I was really into. I did enjoy listening to the album. It was pretty cool, especially if you're a fan of like horror punk. If you're into metal, even like that, almost like hymn style metal.
Yeah.
This would be something that you would enjoy.
Oh, definitely. I'm jumping into our messenger because they are a Swedish band.
The Swedes.
They're the Swedes, yeah. So it's a horror punk band. They're from Sweden. For those of you who are maybe familiar with some Swedish punk, They are ex-members of Dead Next Door, Lake of Tears. His current album is I believe it's just self-titled. It's Left Hand Black, and it's out on Wolverine Records right now. It came out at the end of March.
And they have another single. They have a couple of. They have another single for at least. On what is it, Spotify? Yeah, Spotify.
Yeah. So totally recommend checking them out. It is a fantastic album. You will bop your head. You will enjoy it. You'll have a great time. Check them out on Facebook. They're on Facebook as Left Hand Black Horror Punk. And you can also find them on YouTube. You can look up Left Hand Black. They've got the entire album streaming there. Go give it a listen. You can catch them on Bandcamp. You can catch them on Instagram. So go do yourself a favor. Check out Left Hand Black. I'm honestly surprised they did not win Last Song Playing 6.
Yeah,
I had them pegged to win that, and they made it to the finals, and they did a great job. But they didn't quite make it all the way. So, but go do yourself a favor and listen to this. You will be very pleased. And hey, Dan, you know I've been meaning to ask you, Reyes.
What?
I've been meaning to ask you, did you ever go and listen to Volume 2 by Bouncing Souls new album?
I did, actually. It's a slowed down, like stripped down. I don't know if I really want to say acoustic. It kind of is, but it's super stripped down. It's good, but it's I'm torn with the acoustic stuff when you do that, because you take songs that are well known for being kind of upbeat, and the Souls is one of those bands everybody knows. I'm a longtime Bouncing Souls fan. It's very upbeat, it's very positive, it's very bouncy when you think about it. This isn't that. It is a reimagining of their stuff, and it was good. I liked it, but it left me wanting to listen to the Bouncing, like their original stuff, more, which I've actually been doing. I've been listening to that a lot lately. Actually, I've listened to a lot of Bouncing Souls lately. Thought it was good. It's different from what it is. They're going to do those Home for the Holiday shows. They're going to do some live streaming stuff coming up too, so that might be something I actually end up checking out. A lot of bands, that's kind of what they're doing.
They're
actually,
doing it from Studio 4, right?
They're doing it from Studio 4. Face to Face is doing it from South Bay Customs. Did you know that, Dan? They're actually doing the trifecta.
Really? No.
They're doing the trifecta. Last night was Don't Turn Away. Tonight is I think maybe the self-titled. I can't remember. And then tomorrow I think is Big Choice.
How much are they charging for this?
Actually, it was pretty decent, but I got to find the time to watch, and I've been busy doing holiday stuff with the family. $12 a night, or you could get all 3 nights for $30. And then you get 72-hour access to watch them, which I thought was kind of cool. Watch out. This one I think I may do. I may do this one, and I think I want to order a shirt. This year is the 25th anniversary of the Winter Formal for the Vandals. This would have been the 25th anniversary, because the first one was in '95. So they haven't announced it yet, but they have put out a poster that says basically live from Santa's Village. So yeah, that's very appropriate. For the Vandals. The T-shirt has that. It's the 25th, anniversary thing. It looks like a little village in like the bottom of the freaking Matterhorn.
Can you send me the link to that?
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it.
Just.
You know what? I'll tag it on you. I'll tag you on Instagram. But yeah, perfect. I think I want to order a shirt, and I think I will buy that. They haven't said that it's going to be a live stream, but we all know that's where that's headed. Is that they might have.
We'll have to check with our source.
But it's going to be live stream. Yeah, maybe. But they've been teasing it for a while, and the poster straight says on it live from Santa's Village. So like, you just know awesome. We're waiting a live stream. Yeah, if it goes for like $15 or something, that's definitely something that I would do. So Rick and I went last year to the 24th annual Winter Formal. How much fun was that? I mean, honestly,
so much fun.
It was good. I didn't know that they put out a live Christmas album. Did you guys know that? They actually have a live Christmas album. It came out in like 2002. It's old.
Wow.
Yeah, but I thought that was kind of cool. But back to the Bouncing Souls thing. It's good. It's good. It's different, but it's good. And speaking of face to face, I wasn't the biggest fan of their stripped down way. I think the Souls one is better than the Bouncing Souls. Give a listen to Gone, and you'll get a whole new respect for the Bouncing Souls.
I actually like the face. I actually like the face to face album.
I do too, but I like the Rise Against one more.
Well, that one's not necessarily stripped out. That one is full on reimagining with the string quartets, and it's just big, and it's even though they're acoustic style, they're big and powerful. It's almost, and I hate to do this, but it's almost like when Metallica did their Unplugged, and they had
the S&M ones.
Yeah, they were just it was quote unquote unplugged. The Men Singers just put out another one that's like that, stripped down. But the nice thing about that is it was their most recent album. They reimagined and redid in quarantine. So you haven't gotten to the point where you're so accustomed to those songs that it hurts. And they did a really good job with it. I think that's probably my favorite of the ones that have come out recently.
Well, I think with a song like Gone by the Bouncing Souls is off of Summer Vacation, what I did for my summer vacation or something like that. So it's an earlier Bouncing Souls album, one of the first ones on Epitaph. And it's a really good song. The song itself is about being in a dark place, and then you kind of realizing that, like, no, I'm better than this. My heart tells me I'm better than this, so I'm going to pull through this. That's what the song is about. But it's got that Souls kind of bounce to it, the positive spin on it, reimagined as kind of a stripped down acoustic version. You just get a whole new sense of what that song, like the emotion behind that song. That's kind of what you get out of it. Because actually, when you think about it, a lot of the Bouncing Soul songs are like that. It's some deep content that they cover sometimes, but because it's kind of bouncy, that almost not pogo punk, but you know what, you guys know what I mean. Being punk fans, it doesn't come across that way necessarily. It does when it's stripped down, and you're like, oh man, okay, I get this. So I thought it was really good. So, but it made me want to listen to the Souls. But I also want to see all the Vandal stuff too. But that's going to be fun. And I'll do that while I'm thinking about it right now. Dan, I'll tag in it right now. Rick.
Yes.
Happy Life Day.
Happy Life Day to you. Dude, I posted this on Facebook a couple weeks ago when I watched it, and I'll say it again. I have seen the Star Wars Holiday Special. The Lego Star Wars Holiday Special blows it away. That's not necessarily saying much, but
yeah,
it was a fun little romp.
The Ewoks Battle for Endor blows away the holiday special, the Star Wars Holiday Special.
That's not saying much either.
No, it's not. Okay, so let's talk about that for just a second. So I did watch the Holiday Special. We'll get to that in a second. Speaking of the original one.
Yeah.
So my friend Gina, who does the Disney Culture podcast with me, she had told me, hey, I'm going to watch this Lego Holiday Special. And I'm like, oh, okay. And she's like, I knew nothing about the original one. I'm like, that's because we don't talk about the original one. I'm like, it's so bad. I'm like,
you just off to the side.
Yeah, it's bad if George Lucas disowned it. George Lucas, who a lot of fans are like, man, he ruined the original trilogy. Like, whatever. Like, he doesn't even talk about this. That's how bad it is. I'm like, fucking B. Arthur. That's all you have to say. Fucking B. Arthur. That's all you have to say. I'm
Paul Lind.
So she's well, so she was like, I have to watch this
square.
Thing. Yeah, she's like, I have to watch this thing. I was like, are you sure? I'm telling you, it's bad. It's not good. It's not even as good as Saturday Night Live. Like,
that's what I tell people. I go, if you're gonna watch it, this is bad. The best part is a cartoon feature, and that's mediocre at best.
Yeah. So she's like, no, I want to watch it. I want to watch it because it's bad. And I'm like, fucking Lumpy. That's all you like. B. Arthur and Lumpy. That's all I have to say. Right. So she watched it, and she's like, oh my God, it was so bad. It was just so it was so bad that I loved it, but it was bad. And I was like, no, it's horrible. But the Lego Holiday Special was not.
That was good. I watched it right after you told me to watch it. I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we talked about that too. No, it was really good. It's got some kind of homage to every freaking stuff. Actually, did we see anything from Rogue One or Han Solo in there?
I don't remember anything from Rogue One, and I don't remember anything from Han Solo.
Well, it kind of makes sense that you didn't see it from Rogue One, as they're kind of those standalone, stories and not the Skywalker saga
Exactly.
necessarily, so
Yeah,
that would make sense.
yeah.
But we got to see something from every freaking version, every all of the 9 movies, I think, right? Saw
And the
Pod Race
Mandalorian.
and the
Yeah, and
Mandalorian.
Saw the
Yeah,
child.
yeah.
That was
And she was,
pretty
I know what's
funny.
funny was oh, how cute.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
everybody
it was
stopped
pretty
and mentioned
cool.
how cute it was. That's what was the funny part was.
Yeah.
Everybody stopped to mention how cute Grogu was. I'm just going to use his name as much as possible because it kind of pisses people off.
Sweet baby Grogu.
So anything else
Oh,
about the
it was
holiday
good.
special? Okay, so hold on. Let's go a little deep cut. I know I
There was-
did talk about this on the other podcast, but I don't know if you guys would actually know this. I think I talked to Dan about it, but tip yip, right? They ate tip yip, which looked like the turkey.
Mhm.
Okay, so tip yip is a dish in Docking Bay 7 in Galaxy's Edge. It actually is one of the things that you can actually order.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah,
On one of the things.
it's a meat log, is what it is. It's a freaking meat log. So the food at Docking Bay 7 is meant to look alien. So it really is just this log of meat that you look at it and you're like, that doesn't have the best presentation, but it's freaking good. It's like one of the best meals in the park. And the mashed potatoes that come with it, freaking rival Plaza Inns. Might even be better than Plaza Inns mashed potatoes. It's really good, but the presentation is meant to look alien 100%. But as soon as they said tip yip, like I kind of was like, did he just say tip yip? Did he just say, like, that's Docking Bay 7? That's how deep cut some of the stuff in there is. People wouldn't recognize some of the stuff if you've never been to Galaxy's Edge. You wouldn't know what tip yip is.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they
Yeah.
even mentioned oh god, I can't remember. Batu. They mentioned Batu in there as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's where he got the cup. That's where he got the Emperor cup, was Batu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I
so
mean, they
usually when
did
I
have
watch
some
something
nice
like that,
references.
I watch all the things with the Easter eggs, and that was one of the ones they mentioned.
Yeah. There was all kinds of stuff. I'm trying to remember what else we got to see, but we saw Max Rebo. Like, that's freaking cool.
That was
Right?
that, dude. I popped like that, like I was watching wrestling.
Did you pop at that? It's a wrap. From Admiral
Yes, I
Akbar. That was freaking funny too. There was some good stuff, and I don't know. I just thought the story was kind of cool.
It was a fun story. I was impressed. A lot of the characters, most of the characters, of course, didn't come back to reprise their roles. I thought the Ray voice was pretty well done.
Did Poe Dameron do his voice? Was that?
I don't believe he did.
Okay, that was pretty
The
good.
only two that I remember seeing that reprised their roles were Rose and Lando.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So
I mean,
everybody
Anthony
else,
Daniels
everybody
didn't come
else-
back?
Did he speak? If he did,
he did.
he was there. Yeah, if he
Yeah,
spoke,
he spoke.
then yeah, it was Anthony Daniels.
Because
You
Anthony
kind of
Daniels
expect
shows up for
Anthony
everything.
Daniels to come back.
I was just gonna say
Yeah.
the same thing. Anthony Daniels shows up for everything. Yeah, he totally does.
The work is steady.
Hey, you get it in
Amen.
where you can, man.
Take
Whether
it.
it's reading something off or like, well, all you gotta do is go in a studio and read your lines, baby.
And back in the day, he did a Ways Direction voice.
Yes, he did.
Oh, I had that forever.
I had it as long as they let me have it.
Yeah. Then on to the next one.
And it was Lightning McQueen, I think, after that.
Oh, that's cool.
That was the thought. You know whose Way's voice was not good was Batman's. Kevin Conroy. It was okay, but it's like, unless he was saying things, it's I mean, it's
Turn
iconic,
left.
but it's also not iconic. And that's exactly what it was. It sounded like a gruff guy saying turn left. Unless he was talking about the
Turn
Riddler or
left.
doing the bat signal or saying something like that, you're like, oh yeah, that's Batman.
Go straight for 5 miles.
Pretty much.
No,
Pretty much.
I did have the Anthony Daniels one and the Lightning McQueen, and I think that was it. I didn't do the Batman one. I don't have it on a lot of time. I'd rather listen to the radio and just follow along with the directions of where I'm going.
Yeah, I get you.
All right,
I'm
so
trying
should we
to
take
play.
another break?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take a quick one.
My arteries contest no blood. My pulse doesn't have a beat. I can't seem to stay dead. Now my body's just a picture of me. My time is running out as I watch the flames spread. We can only stop this hell, but how do you kill someone so yeah. Dead bodies, dead meat. Oh, dead heat. Dead bodies, dead meat. Oh, dead heat. the beach. I can't seem to stage it, but my body's just next to me. My time is running out as I watch the flames spread. You know there's nothing else, but how do you kill someone so needed? Dead bodies, dead meat. Whoa, dead heat. Dead bodies, dead meat. Whoa, dead heat. Dead bodies, dead meat. Whoa, dead heat. Dead bodies, dead meat. Whoa, dead heat.
Hey, so we're back. Breaking news, which we rarely get to do. David Prowse has died at the age of 85.
Yeah, I know
What?
Chris just said
What?
that to me.
Darth Vader's dead?
The yep.
The man in the
Sunshine-
suit.
The man in
He's
the
been
suit.
He's been in poor health for a while, dude.
That he has.
Yeah,
been
about
for a
like
while.
what was it 3-4 years ago? He said he wasn't going to do any more signings at all,
Yeah.
and he used to sign like crazy.
I have his autograph. I have David Prowse's autograph.
No,
Um,
but he used to sign like on the internet, like on Facebook within the last 5-6 years. He's all like, "Oh yeah, you want to buy an autograph? $100, $50, or
Sign those
whatever."
titties.
When I met and got David Prowse's autograph, must have been the early 2000s. He was already in poor health then. Couldn't walk around really well. He actually, and he's tall. He's so tall that he was sitting on 2 chairs at the convention center in San Diego. You know those the seats that they have, the convention style seats, the same ones that you have when you eat at the snack bar or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Little padded seats, whatever. He had 2 of them stacked to sit on that because that's how he was the most comfortable because he's that tall. But yeah, he wasn't in the best health then. So I'm glad I got that actually. He was in the autograph area too. So yeah, that's just how he was comfortable doing that. David Prowse was one that you can still catch clips of it. Didn't know that he was going to be dubbed by James Earl Jones. He delivered all the lines in costume, not knowing that James Earl Jones was going to overdub him. And then was caught by surprise when he was, and then obviously still did it. He made his money on Star Wars. I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
I don't think he was rich or by any means, but he made his money on Star Wars. And just to know that he was, because I think even on my autograph, it says David Prowse is Darth Vader. Like that's what he wrote. You know what I mean? So that's actually kind of cool. Wow. How old was he? 85?
85.
85. Boy, if 2020 don't just take them all. Telling you.
Yeah.
I'm reading the article as we speak, and that at one point he pretty much had his choice of whether he would be Darth Vader or Chewbacca,
And he went with Darth Vader?
and he went with Darth Vader, saying,
well,
that
obviously,
you
duh.
always remember the bad guys.
Smart choice.
Well, I heard that Chewbacca or Peter Mayhew said like, "I want to be Chewbacca," and I brought this up when Peter Mayhew passed away. That Chewbacca, he said, "I want to be Chewbacca because I want to be a good guy."
Makes sense.
Met him too. I believe I have his autograph. Really nice guy too. Really another tall guy. Those tall guys, man, when they get old, their knees cannot handle all that.
Yeah.
stuff. No.
Peter Mayhew had a special cane design that was looked like a lightsaber that was given to him by the 501st.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not aware of anything else David Prowse did.
He
be
didn't
honest
do
with you.
anything in America.
Oh, I'm sure.
he did some work. He was always, he played a Minotaur in Doctor Who. He did a couple little things like that. I think it was Pertwee's years that he was on Doctor Who. Little things like that. Nothing major, but he was known as a bodybuilder.
He was also like a Mr. Safety type guy, like a spokesperson for safety over in England. That's where people knew him before Star Wars.
Yeah, he had like a superhero type suit that he'd wear when you do the PSAs or whatever.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Our respect to David Prowse.
100%.
185.
Before we move on to sports, can I tell you about Downtown Disney? Because we'll just kind of segue off of the Disney thing. I'll keep it short. So I went to
Didn't you do
Downtown.
that on our other podcast already?
Yeah, but I'm going to give you guys because I haven't talked to you. Have you listened to it? That's what I thought.
No.
Okay, so
I can listen to it though.
you can, but I'm just going to tell you. I'm going to give you some highlights. So went into Buena Vista Street. Got there early in the morning. I was one of the maybe first 10 people into Buena Vista Street. Just to kind of give you an idea of what it's going to be like if you should decide to go, because it's open to everybody. You don't have to have a ticket once you get into Buena Vista Street. Open for dining and shopping. Everything is very distance. Everybody wears a mask. They strictly enforce the mask. They strictly enforce you to keep moving on. They don't want you kind of lingering around. If you do eat or drink anything, you have to be moving. Oh, no, excuse me. You have to be stationary. You have to either be at a table, or they put up a lot of bar tables around that you have to be at there that are, away from the shops and stuff. All shops are in one way and out the other. So the lines don't cross. Everything is distanced. You still get your discount if you're an AP. Had a lot of Christmas merch, in the stuff, some different stuff than Downtown Disney has, plus the eating. It was pretty cool. Then I went into stage 17, which is kind of World of Disney light. It has, some stuff they have in World of Disney, including some Star Wars stuff, which is why I did that. They had a Star Wars like Santa hat that had a bunch of characters. I didn't buy it. It was like $40. I didn't want it. Pretty cool stuff, man. If you haven't checked it out, we'll see what happens. And we talk a lot about if Disneyland's going to open. I think this is a start of them opening at least DCA completely for shopping and dining, because I think they could pull that off with some modifications here, and then see, like, does this work at Disneyland? Could we pull this off at Disneyland? I think that's, DCA is totally a trial. I think they could, because I went in, like I said, I was one of the first 10 people in. I've seen posts the last couple of days where it doesn't look like people have had too much trouble kind of getting in. So that's good. I'm thinking about going back to kind of see it at night, just to see the lights and stuff. There was no tree, because the line for one of the stores wrapped around where the tree would be. And photo ops are a no-go, because you don't want the crowd for any kind of a photo op. So I think that's different. There's no characters out, but it's kind of nice to be back home for the holiday kind of thing. I dropped way more money than I should have. A lot of money. Just because I hadn't been. They had some cool holiday stuff and bought some treats and stuff, but it was pretty cool. There is more information, a little bit more in-depth, but a half an hour worth of me talking about it on the Disney Culture podcast, which you can find where you find this one. So go ahead and check that out. But I just wanted to let you guys know too, kind of like it was super cool. It's open to anybody to go in and do that. You can eat, you can shop. It's worth it. I felt it was very safe as far as
because I know Knott's has been doing the same type of thing since the summer.
Yeah,
where they're just letting people in to eat.
Right, and they have special events for the eating. That does actually cost you money. That's how they're bringing the money. That's also covered on the Disney Culture podcast. So again, go back and give that a listen. Go more in depth, because a couple of our friends have gone to that and partaken in the Knott's food. Besides a churro and some popcorn and some treats, I didn't have dinner anywhere. I didn't feel the need to. And it's not to say rule it out, but I'm not itching to have a hamburger from Smoke Jumpers Grill. You know what I mean? It's not.
I understand that.
Yeah.
And what was Smoke Jumpers Grill called before?
That's a good question.
Taste Pilot's Grill.
Taste Pilot's Grill. There you go. Yeah, he's right. Taste Pilot's Grill.
Because I remember going there and they had a really good milkshake, because it was made with real milk and ice cream.
They changed the menu up slightly when they changed the name. They brought some different stuff kind of in, started serving alcohol. That is one of the only places there you can actually still get alcohol, other than Carthay Circle. They have a rum and Coke, like slushy type thing that you have to order that all with food, though. You have to have it with food. So interesting.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you can't just go around getting drunk.
I used to go to Smoke Jumpers and I would get my burger or whatever, and they have all the condiments. They used to have the condiments. I don't think they probably do anymore, as the salad bar type thing. You almost like a Fuddruckers where you get to choose and put it on yourself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I didn't go in there. The menu is limited too. It's not the full menu.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, and I imagine with something like that, they wouldn't be doing it anymore. It's like obviously scissors aren't open right now for that, and of course buffet places and this and that, they're not going to do that. But that used to be my favorite thing, man. Is go pile on whatever I wanted on there, and then if I was hungry because the first meal I'd had all day, I'd make a salad too.
I was gonna say you could totally make a salad out of everything they had in that condiment bar, because you could get the lettuce, you could get the tomato, you could get the onion, you could get ranch dressing, and you basically got yourself a small salad, like a little side salad. Yeah, you totally could do that. I noticed your hat there, guy.
Yep.
And his shirt.
The Dodgers have won the World Series after 32 years.
On a video, on an audio podcast, this guy gets all decked out on an audio podcast. But what'd you say? For some, what, 32 years you said?
32 years.
Third time is the charm too, baby.
Angels have the two highest best players in baseball. Have they gone to the World Series?
No, I'm not talking about that. I don't care about that. I just told you third time.
And then we get cheated out of 2 World Series. Well, at least one for sure.
At least one.
I'd go with you.
Well, one for sure. The Astros won 7 games. Boston Red Sox we couldn't have beat, even though they did cheat.
I just don't like Boston.
Trash can.
So, Rick went and got his hat too. So, I hope he took a screenshot of this because it doesn't translate on an audio podcast. And he took a screenshot. There you go. Anyway, anything else you gonna say? I know you got a lot of stuff you want to say, even though it happened like a while back.
Yeah. So it was nice to see the Dodgers win a World Series again after 32 years. This is probably one of the best teams they've had. It's probably going to be somewhat dismantled. There's not a lot of people who we know are going to come back for sure. Mookie Betts was probably what drove the team to win the World Series because he's kind of like that glue, like that little missing piece. Even though his performances were really good during the World Series, he didn't have an outstanding performance during the World Series like others thought, like we thought he would. But like he was that guy in the clubhouse who was like, motivated everybody, got everybody together to do their thing.
Right.
So I'm going to ask you a question. I'm not. Go ahead.
I lost my. I know it was a shortened season. I know that's something that some people are gonna knock on and say, oh yeah, they're the best in 60 games or whatever. But the most challenging part was you also had an expanded playoff system. So you can knock, though they only played 60 games all you want. The fact is you had an extra round of playoffs. So that was extra pressure. That's extra abilities to get eliminated. So good on them for being able to not only overcome that, but sweep their first 2 series, come back from behind, and win a series when they were down, 3-1? And then be able to successfully do this after the 3rd attempt. So good for them. And I'm proud of the boys in blue.
How many of them, again, not run down the team, just wondering, how many of them caught COVID after the fact?
Just Turner's the only one I've heard.
Turner was the only one that has been publicized.
Okay.
Now,
I wonder how many of them actually did.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if they're like have to keep secret like who all has COVID, like other businesses, or because it is a private business, they can't tell because of public health. So I'm not sure. But the only one who's ever come out so far has been Justin Turner. And
that's because of the way it was done. Yeah. The way he had to be basically be taken off the field and then came back on the field with no mask. And that was a whole thing into itself with people on, both sides of that fence. Like, did he do this? Could he have gotten a negative test when he, that rapid test in the back? Did anything ever come out of that? I haven't heard much about that at all, other than when it initially broke.
They didn't give any punishment for him for that. That's the only thing I remember hearing. X, do you remember anything on that?
No. MLB came out with something just saying we understand why he came out there. Turner said he was sorry, but he said I had to be out there. That was my big moment to shine. And he said he apologized to the fans. He said it showed poor lack of judgment on my part of something that I shouldn't have done. And MLB just is we don't condone this behavior. We understand this behavior, and we just don't want to see it again in the future. Basically, is what the Major League Baseball said.
The reason I asked is because it translates into football, with football season being now. I mean, you're seeing all kinds of outbreaks in football too. And,
Yeah.
where do you draw the line as far as that? Because you got teams that are, 4 quarterbacks in, on their roster.
Yeah.
Offensive and defensive lines getting sick. I just read today that Santa Clara County, which is the county that San Francisco is in, I believe. Is that the county that it's in?
Yeah.
No,
No. San Francisco 49ers play in Santa Clara County.
Play in Santa
San
Clara
Francisco
County.
is its own county.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They're not allowing any contact sports. So the game with Detroit is kind of up in the air. What do you do with that? Because they're not allowing any contact sports for the next 3 weeks. So that's something that's going to come out of that. Where do you go? Where do you go with that? You know what I mean?
Okay, so San Francisco is fortunate because they have let's see. They could play at they can't play. They could play at Candlestick Park in San Francisco proper, which could be set up for a football game because they've had football games there. I think the Holiday Bowl is held there. Not Candlestick, excuse me, AT&T Park or whatever it is, the telephone park where the Giants play. Yes, Candlestick was the old stadium. They could play at where Stanford is. They have a football stadium there that's not in Santa Clara County. They also have Cal, which is in Berkeley. They could play there. And they could also play in San Jose where the San Jose Earthquakes play. The Major League Soccer team. So there's a few options they have. We're not having to play in Santa Clara County.
Which is easy to do because you don't have to worry about fans.
Yeah. They might even move they might move the game to Detroit, which is a possibility.
Yeah, that's the first thing that I thought of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing with football, they're not playing in the bubble. When the NBA got back together, they played in a bubble. Baseball did their best to stay out of a bubble at the beginning, but when they focused on the playoffs, they had the bubble. I don't know what the plan is for the NBA when they start up again, which is going to be just a couple days before Christmas because
it's not that long. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a big deal to have like a game on Christmas Day. Like that's the NBA's like prime time to show. And it's usually a Laker game. Even when the Lakers are doing really bad, they have a Laker game on Christmas Day.
Well, my question was going to be, so the NBA doing the bubble seemed to work out pretty well for the most part. You know what I mean? It seemed like that worked. Is that something that the NFL and, well, maybe the NFL should look at? MLB, because they had limited who you were playing in their games, that's kind of a bubble. I know I said they did their best to avoid a bubble, but they limited who they were playing to, basically the teams in their own division. That's kind of a bubble in itself.
Okay, so
and then the playoffs became a bubble. So
here's what they could do for baseball, and it's going to be a little more difficult for football. With baseball, they could play where the spring training is, because you have a lot of baseball stadiums that were maybe within 2 hours of each other. And since there's going to be no fans in the stands or limited fans in the stands, you could always have them at the spring training facilities. That could have worked for baseball, and you just play, in Florida and Arizona, which will take care of most of your teams, or all of your teams, excuse me. And you just have them play like,
the Sunshine League and the Cactus League for a year.
Yeah. Basketball, again, you could have a bubble because there's enough, you don't need a lot of setup time between arenas. There's enough teams where, like, you could play in a few basketball gyms that are nearby each other. Football, I believe, is going to be the hardest one to play in a bubble because the wear and tear on the field, even if it's AstroTurf, there's going to be wear and tear on the field. And there's no really way to do it. And I was talking out loud with some people I know. Southern California would be the best bet, but you're going to be playing like three or four football games in a day, because you could play the LA Coliseum, SoFi Stadium, the Rose Bowl, and where the Chargers, the Home Depot Center, which is like where they have soccer games. And I'm sure there's some other nice fields that they could do it in, but it's not I don't think it would be ideal because there's still too many. It's too spread out. If you, in a sense, it's still too spread out. You'd have to even go maybe into San Diego and into Northern California. So I don't test.
I don't know. I was just wondering, just thinking out loud. I just thought it was interesting.
And that was just my thinking out loud too. I have no idea what they're going to do with football. Unless you do it like division, and football doesn't work with divisions that well because you're playing. There's only 5 teams per division.
Yeah, it's not a wide number of teams. Anything else we got? I think we're about done.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think that's about it. So again, man, 3 years. We've done this for 3 years. Thank you for anybody who's listened to anything in the past 3 years.
Yeah,
Much
keep it up
appreciated.
and invite a friend, and then have them invite their friends, and then they gotta ask 2 friends, and then they ask 2 friends. You know how it goes.
That's how you build an audience.
Yeah.
Hey,
And we'll be back probably 2 episodes in December as Last Song Playing 7's going to be starting up sometime in the next few weeks. So we'll of course give our take on that. Hopefully that'll come out sooner rather than later.
Yeah, we always like doing that. That's fun.
Yeah.
And then the regular episode, and then we will start on season 4 and be here for you once a month and do all that stuff. Socials, Rick, let's do it. Let's close it out.
As we do it. Thanks again for listening. Bands just like Left Hand Black, man, thank you for sending us in some stuff to listen to. We had a great time listening. If you're a band and you have music, if you are a filmmaker and you have a short film, if you have a short story, send it in. We're happy to review it. You can email us at exocast@yahoo.com. We're on Instagram as exoculture. We're on Facebook as exocult. We're on Twitter as exocultcast. And I just want to confirm this one. Our TikTok is exocast. I just wanted to double check that one. We're on iHeartRadio, Podomatic, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and you can YouTube us. Oh, that was terrible. I'm sorry. I'm going to start all that over. You can email us at exocast@yahoo.com, Instagram at exoculture. We're on Facebook as exocult, Twitter as exocultcast, and TikTok as exocast. You can listen to the Extraordinary Culture Podcast on iHeartRadio, Podomatic, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify. You can also listen to Extraordinary Culture Podcast on YouTube or ask your smart home device to play the Extraordinary Culture Podcast. That's going to do it for this time. Happy anniversary. See you soon.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah.
Halloween special?
Yeah.